Well, welcome everyone to Love vs. Hate. My name is Anne, and I'm your old-fashioned nerd.
And I'm Emily, your mainstream millennial.
And on this podcast, Emily and I like to debate and argue about all the different things in life that we love and hate.
And I am really excited for this episode because we're talking about predictions.
Yes, and we get to talk about our predictions from last year, which, let's just throw them out the window.
I mean, some of mine were good.
Yeah, Emily cursed us, actually. If you haven't listened to our 2020 predictions, we'll kind of recap as we're going along here. But Emily predicted that we were going to be in a Dust Bowl. It may not have been a Dust Bowl, but it was a pandemic. She also predicted that businesses were going to go out of business. She's like, I think Radio Shack is going to go out of business. Thanks, Emily. You cursed all of these businesses.
Well, they didn't. So, and neither did Famous Footwear, which I predicted.
Okay, well, there were a lot of businesses.
I looked up their websites and they were still alive.
Wow, that's impressive, actually.
Good job, Radio Shack and Famous Footwear. Good job.
That's hilarious because literally no other year, I think, in his current modern history could Emily have probably guessed more likely that they would have gone out of business than 2020, and they didn't.
That's kind of crazy that I did that. Like when I re-listened to the episode this morning and I was like, oh, Dust Bowl? Business is going out of business?
You cursed us. I don't know how you did it, but you did.
I don't know how I did it either, but hopefully I won't curse us again for 2021.
Yeah, please don't.
Okay.
I hope you only have positive things to say.
I don't know about that. You know, I'm pretty negative.
Yeah. So we're going to, like I said, we'll kind of go over our previous predictions, but you guys will be able to catch up even if you haven't listened to the episode. And then we'll also go into some 2021 predictions. So I think we should start off with movies because that is a very popular item and category.
Yes, and unfortunately most of the predictions that we made last year about movies that would come out in 2020 sadly didn't come out because of my prediction of something bad happening to the world.
Yeah, thanks again, Emily. This whole episode we're blaming you.
Yeah, sorry guys. So yeah, the first movie that Anne talked about was Black Widow.
Which is supposed to come out in 2021, and I'm still predicting that it's going to be amazing, but I am very disappointed that I did not get to see it this past year. Also, In the Heights, do you know how pumped I was for that movie? It's going to be it's going to be a new revolution for like the modern musical, and it didn't happen, but it's still going to happen.
Another new revolution?
Yeah, just like Hamilton, but in a different way. It's like it's gonna redefine the modern musical in like a movie drama form, I think. I don't know, maybe not, but I think so. I think it's gonna be amazing.
So wait, so
it stars Anthony Ramos, one of your like favorite people.
I mean, he's not my favorite, one of my favorites, but like he's fine.
I try.
I guess he's my favorite character in Hamilton.
Okay.
And I like his music, so but he's not one of my favorite people. Let's just get that straight.
Okay. I try to make bridges, but you know.
So it's not going to be just a musical that is recorded, but it's going to be an actual drama movie like
Correct.
Hairspray.
Yes.
Okay, I'm a little bit more excited about that.
I know, because we watched Hamilton, which I should have predicted, but I had no idea at the time that it was going to come out in 2020. I was so excited about that. Like, I think because of the pandemic, like, I think Lin-Manuel Miranda probably wanted to, like, I mean, I don't know the full story. We need to give the
people what they need.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that happened. So I was, oh my gosh, it was so good. We have a whole episode about it, so I won't go into it, but phenomenal. I was so happy that that happened. Thank you, 2020, at least for that.
Yeah. 2020 also gave us Mulan, the live action.
Again, disappointed that I couldn't see it in theaters because who's paying $30 to watch it streaming?
Yeah,
I personally did not, yeah.
And also, I just don't like live action reenactments of old Disney movies, so
yeah, you still feeling that way? You mentioned that last year.
Yeah, I heard the movie kind of sucked.
Yeah, I heard negative reviews as well, which is unfortunate because I wanted it to be good, but
yeah, so maybe we'll watch it in 2021 if we don't have to pay $30 to see it.
Yeah,
we'll see. Another movie that came out was 1917.
Phenomenal.
I actually, I think that last year when we recorded it, I was like, don't care, indifferent. But then I saw it and I was like, wow, that was actually really good.
So good. Phenomenal. I highly recommend, especially if you're any kind of movie buff or if you just want to see like a highly cinematic, amazing movie. It's very good. It takes place in World War I and it's all I mean, it's not entirely, but it's basically a simulated one shot. Like the whole movie is done in one take. So it's really, really good. Highly recommend. I'm pretty sure it won for best cinematography in the Oscars, or it won something for sure. But
Yeah,
also, I did want to throw out an honorable mention to Onward because that was the last movie I saw in theaters.
Aw.
It's been so long, but it's okay.
I saw it on Disney Plus.
It's very good. It's all about D&D, and I love it. It was amazing. I liked it a lot.
I think I thought it was okay.
I'll take that.
I think I thought the ending was a little bit too cheesy for me.
I liked the ending because it was unpredictable, I thought. It wasn't the happy ending. You know, it was a happy ending, but it wasn't the perfect happy ending that normally happens in, especially like Disney. And that's what I like. Pixar, I think, always tries to throw in some kind of twist. And I thought that was a good twist.
Yeah. Other movies. Wait, did Sonic Hedgehog actually come out?
It did. And I did see it in theaters and I agreed with my prediction. I mean, it was fine. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'll give it that. But like, I was also kind of like, meh. That's my humble opinion. A lot of my friends disagree. And they're probably yelling at me right now. Sorry, but it's my opinion.
There you go. And still to come out in 2021, which we're supposed to come out in 2020, is A Quiet Place 2. Still think it's not going to be very good.
Agreed.
And Free Guy.
Still don't think it's going to be great, but I'd like it to be. But
That's the one with Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah. Very up in the air still. We'll see.
I probably wouldn't watch it in theaters if I had the option to watch something in a theater.
Okay. Fair.
But maybe if it came out on a streaming service or like Vudu or something, I might consider it.
Okay. Now, for movies for coming out in 2021, I am really excited about Raya and the Last Dragon. Have you heard about that? That's the next like Disney animation studios.
No. It's
not Pixar. It's Disney animation, but I think that it's going to be good, and I'm hopeful that it'll be good. It looks good. So.
Is that the one that takes place in Colombia?
No, that's the next Pixar movie.
Oh, that's Pixar?
I think so.
I thought it was Disney.
Well, it's confusing because Pixar is Disney.
Yeah, but I thought that I like said something to you earlier at like lunch one day and you were like, "Oh, it's not Pixar, so it's not as exciting."
Oh, could be. I can't remember.
I think it's like Coco, but cuz it's Coco just Disney, not Pixar.
Could be. I don't remember what animation studio.
I've never seen Coco either.
It gets really? Oh, Coco's good.
Well, I'm excited because my friend has like family in Colombia, so I'm like, woo, go Colombia. Anyways.
Also, Dune is coming out, which I read the book a long time ago, and I remember liking it, and I saw the trailer, and I thought the trailer looked really good, but I'm also, I don't know, I'm very skeptical with sci-fi stuff because sci-fi is so near and dear to my heart in general in all things. So whenever new sci-fi stuff is coming out, especially if it was based on books, I'm like, I don't know about that one.
What is it? Does it take place in sand?
Yes.
I'm already annoyed. I don't know why, but I can't stand when movies... I think it just reminds me of Star Wars because, all I can remember about Star Wars is sand. And also, like, movies that take place in snow just make me cold, and that's why I don't like them. Oh. Like the Penguin movie or whatever. Don't like it because it just makes me cold.
What?
Happy Feet. I think that's the movie.
There's a couple Penguin movies. I was thinking of the March, or it's like the Penguin March or something like that. It's a documentary.
March of the Penguins?
March of the Penguins.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't like those movies. They're just cold.
That's a shame. There's some really good winter movies out there that I like a lot.
Frozen, though, on the other hand, I mean, it doesn't take place all in the snow, so I'm fine with that.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I was looking up movies that are going to come out in 2021, and guess what I found?
There is The Matrix 4. Did you find that one?
No.
I don't know about
Rugrats.
Rugrats.
There's going to be a new Rugrats movie. I read.
Huh.
They were very unclear about details. They were like, don't know who it stars, don't know when it's going to come out, don't know the details, but I was like, I love Rugrats, so I'm excited.
Okay. I have a feeling it's going to be bad. I predict it'll be bad.
I don't know if it's going to be live action or cartoon. I hope it's cartoon because you know how I feel about live action.
Yeah, I do. Fair point.
Okay, what about Godzilla versus King Kong? Or versus Kong?
I mean, how many? Okay, this is my thing. I'm sorry. This might not be a popular nerd belief, but I'm kind of over the Godzilla King Kong movies. There's some really good ones out there that I like, but I'm also like, can we come up with something a little more original, people? I don't know. I'm over them. That's me.
I just really liked Kong Skull Island, or whatever that movie was called. So I don't know if it's the same people or what, but I just really liked that one. So possibly I could be looking forward to this one.
Not gonna lie, I'm kind of surprised by that you would like that kind of movie.
Yeah.
Weird.
My taste has definitely changed because Alex does not like watching those girly movies. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess we'll watch this. And then I end up liking it.
Aw, well, good.
But sci-fi, no. Can't do sci-fi still.
Literally, it's the best genre.
No.
I don't get your mind.
No.
Anyway, what about TV shows?
Oh, wait, I have a couple more movies.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The Conjuring, newest movie coming out. Love the Conjuring series. It's a scary thriller.
No. Scary
and also
is
another
no
thriller
bueno.
is Spiral. It's a Saw franchise, so I don't think I've ever seen the Saw movies, but it's a thriller, so I'm excited. And then the last one is Jungle Cruise that I found. This one is Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt. So I don't know what it's about. I haven't seen the trailer, but I feel like it could be good.
This is the thing about Dwayne Johnson for me. If he is directed well and he has a good role that fits him, he's phenomenal. But he's kind of gets typecasted, which isn't surprising just because of, one, the way he looks, and just two, I mean, like, he didn't start in acting. He's not a traditionally trained actor. So, so I get a little skeptical with him in movies because he can be really good, but he can also be kind of bad. So,
whoa.
But I love
name
him.
a
He's
movie
good.
that is bad with him in it. I just want to
What's the one with Zac Efron and they're on the beach and it's like Baywatch?
Baywatch.
Yeah, that's bad.
Oh, I think I saw that, but I don't remember.
I saw scenes. I haven't seen the whole movie.
I think
but
that whole movie is just bad, though.
That could be. Sorry, Dwayne Johnson, to throw you under the bus for that bad movie, but
Okay, now we can move into TV shows.
Okay,
now I'm
so
ready.
in 2021, I didn't get an exact date because of COVID, it pushed things back because The Witcher 2 was being filmed in the fall of 2020, but then obviously things got pushed back. So I don't know when it's going to be released, but I'm so excited for The Witcher 2. I was pleasantly surprised that I enjoyed the first season, so I'm hopeful that the second season will be good. Also, The Expanse season 5 actually just released the week of when we're recording this. So I'm going to definitely start watching that. It probably won't I think like the first 3 episodes are out. So it's airing over the course of 2021, but it's like there's a couple episodes out now and I'm like so excited because The Expanse is really good.
Whoa.
The Expanse, I want Emily to like The Expanse really bad, but it's sci-fi, so she won't. She's biased. It's not fair. What about you? Those were kind of the big 2 that I'm most excited about. I'm sure there's others coming out. I talked about
Picard?
Yeah, I talked about that. So, okay, so here's the thing. My brother has access to CBS All Access, and he gave me the password. And, I'm busy. I never actually ended up watching it, and I feel really bad. But I think part of it was because, because my parents and, my brother and my family watched it, and they were kind of like, yeah, it was good, but it wasn't what we wanted it to be. And I was like,
now
when you
I don't
hear
wanna
that,
watch it.
You want to?
No, now you don't want to watch it.
Yeah, exactly. So now I don't really want to watch. I do,
and you were skeptical to begin with. So.
I was, yeah. So now, I probably will hopefully get around to it someday. But it became at that moment when they were like, yeah, it was okay, but not what we wanted. It became very low on that priority list.
Yeah. Okay. I think last year the only show that I talked about was The Bachelor because it was going on.
Yeah, and you predicted that Madison was going to win. Did she win?
So technically, he picked Hannah Ann at the end for the proposal. Uh-huh. But then after the final rose, we found out that Peter was like, JK, I actually want Madison.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I totally forgot that this happened until I Googled it. I was like, who did win? And yeah.
If I was Madison, I'd have been like...
Then he chose Madison.
No.
And then they got together.
No.
But then his mom is crazy. His mom was like, I don't approve. I don't like Madison. I like Hannah Ann. And so then Madison was just like, okay. And then they broke up. So really, there was no real winner. Except for Hannah, Ann, and Madison, because they don't have to deal with Peter and his mom.
Just saying, I think I could have predicted that nobody would win.
Okay, but for this prediction, okay,
Mm-hmm.
The Bachelorette is currently going on. Claire has already ended up with Dale after like 3 episodes, and now it's Tayshia's turn. At the time of recording, they have just finished Hometowns, and Ben has been sent home. So it's down to 3 guys, Ivan, Brendan, and Zach. I personally think that she's going to choose Ivan. I hope she's going to choose Ivan. Or Brendan. I'd be happy with either of those. Zach can go. He can go. You can pack your bags and leave. So that's my prediction, Ivan.
Okay. I predict that what's-her-face and Daryl. Dale
and Claire.
And Claire, thank you. Dale and, I'm sorry, what's-her-face and Daryl are going to, I predict that they are not going to stay together. I don't know. Emily showed me clips.
Do you think they're going to break up in 2021 at some point?
Yes.
Okay.
Because Emily was showing me clips, and, like, Dale is definitely, like, freaked out by this girl and how obsessed she is with him. Like, he doesn't show it because, you know, there's, like, well, I mean, he does, but not, like, he doesn't say it. But
because
you can
there's
just
cameras
kinda
around.
tell. Like, he's like, whoa, okay.
This girl is a lot.
A lot to deal with. So I don't think they're going to make it long term. I think they're going to break up in 2021.
Okay. We'll see about that.
We'll see.
I mean, yeah. There's a lot going on with this pandemic. They can't go anywhere but with each other.
Mm-hmm.
They might drive each other insane. Okay, in terms of other shows that I'm excited about for 2021, I just found out that Disney Plus is doing a TV show for Percy Jackson and the Olympians, which was a book series that I used to read, which is fantasy. Weird. I really love Greek mythology, so I think that's why I liked it.
Oh.
They already filmed 2 movies like a while ago. They weren't very good, so now they're just gonna retry and make it a TV series.
Okay.
And then also Peaky Blinders season 7. I'm kind of excited about. Alex got me into watching the Peaky Blinders, and now I like it sometimes.
See, and that makes me hopeful because I love like drama and like history drama, especially like England stuff. Like if you ever see Foyle's War is really good. There's a lot of really good, and that's like an older show, but there's a lot of good like old British historical drama shows that I love. So I bet you I would love it, and we could maybe watch it together.
Yeah.
But
also,
I'd have to catch up because I've never seen anything.
Yeah, and they're like hour-long episodes each.
Yeah.
But there's only 6 episodes in each season.
Oh, okay.
But also, I have to tell you this funny story. So the other day I was telling Anne about the Peaky Blinders, and then I was telling her how once we finished that show, we were like, what are we going to watch? And so we ended up watching some like blacksmith show. What was it called? Anne was like, oh, Forged in Fire? And I was like, you would know the blacksmith
show.
A competition show for blacksmiths
like
making weapons. I was just like, oh my gosh.
I mean, I've only seen like maybe 3 or 4 episodes. I've not seen a lot, but the little I've seen, I'm like, oh, this is fun. I like this.
Oh man, I feel like you and Alex must have the same like watch recommendations or something.
We probably do. Okay, so I know I talked a little bit about some video games. I wanted Elder Scrolls 6 to announce the setting.
Did they?
No.
Oh, did they do anything?
No.
There's always next year, 2021.
Yeah. Thanks, Bethesda, for nothing. I am, though, some games I'm very excited for in 2021. I can't remember. I think Emily's poor memory is rubbing off on me sometimes, but there is a video game. I think I've talked to you about it in person. I don't think it's happened over the podcast, but there is a video game that literally, if you could design a video game for me, I think this is it. Can you guess what elements it might have in it?
Space.
Not space, but I would say like futuristic sci-fi-y, yes.
Sand.
No. Come on, think about what kind of animals I like.
Animals?
Yeah.
Now I feel like I don't know you at all because I don't know the answer. What kind of animal? Cats.
You ding 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 ding.
Cats in space?
It is a futuristic world where humans no longer exist.
Oh yeah, you told
There's
me about
only
this.
robots, and you're a cat in this like city, and you just like wander around as this cat. I don't know what the objective of the game is. I don't know. Like, all I know is it's beautiful because I saw like a trailer for it. It looked absolutely gorgeous, and you're just a cat. You're just a cat, and you just wander around this city, and I'm like, I am in.
Are there dogs?
I didn't see a dog in the trailer.
I bet there's going to be like an evil dog that tries to attack you in it.
Could be. Either way, the one downside is it's for, like, I think it might be, I'm not positive on this, but it might be a PS5 or like exclusive.
Rude.
Which would make me really sad because PS5s are freaking hard to get, man.
I know.
It's difficult.
They're so expensive. I
Yeah.
really don't like how they're so exclusive.
I know. Like, I don't know what PlayStation was thinking, but like, why the flip did you decide to make them like limited so that you like when people need them in demand, like you're only making X amount? Like, you didn't like, I don't know why they did that. I don't know, but it's crazy.
I don't know.
It's become a whole saga. A lot of people have been complaining about it. All the nerds out there, I feel you. I feel for you. I'm sorry. It's a rough life.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
And
Can't
I am
relate.
sorry because now I can't play Stray, and I really want to. I'm also super excited for Silk Song, which I think might be released in 2021. There was no, as of when we're recording, there was no definitive, but that's when people think it's going to be released. Silk Song is the sequel to Hollow Knight, which is one of my favorite games. Phenomenal. I can't wait. And that'll be on Switch. So my brother has a Switch, so I'll be able to play. I'll probably just like steal his Switch at some point and just like play it for a week and then, give it back to him. But yeah,
Well,
that's a good game.
surprisingly, I don't have any games on my list.
Yeah, no, I know.
But
I figured.
I do have some guesses at Oscar and Grammy
Ooh,
winners.
Please, yes.
So last year, I guessed that the Joker would win Best Picture.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wrong. It didn't win Best Picture, but Joaquin Phoenix did win Best Actor. So part of it won? No, just kidding. It didn't.
It didn't.
I think I said that something would win with Joaquin Phoenix, so sort of win. I'm taking it as a win.
Okay.
Okay, I know nobody really cared. Anyways.
Emily did, though. And she wanted me to care.
And then I also guessed...
Also, Parasite was the winner last year, in case our listeners were wondering. It was Parasite.
Oh, I really still need to watch that,
I need
too.
to,
It's on
too.
Hulu, so...
And it sounds amazing. Everyone's told me that I would love it. So we should watch it together, and then maybe we could do an episode on it.
Okay. Okay, and then I also guessed who would win Grammy Best Album. I guessed it was Billie Eilish.
Was it?
Yes.
Nice.
Yep. And then random one, I guessed that, or I predicted that To All the Boys I Loved Before, the second movie on Netflix, would be the most watched Netflix original in 2020.
I bet you it wasn't.
I was so confident with my guess, and then I Googled it this morning, and it didn't even make the top 10 list.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that one bit.
The most watched one was Extraction.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
I didn't even know what that was, so...
Well, I guess we're not in on the Netflix
I
scene.
guess I didn't know that people who watch Netflix aren't all like teenage / 25, 26-year-old girls, women, whatever. Yep, no, not a lot of people watch it apparently.
Poor Emily, we're bursting bubbles over here.
Yeah. My guess is for this year's Grammy Best Album, it's gotta be Taylor Swift.
Tay-Tay!
But she did release 2 albums this year.
I know. I'm surprised you didn't predict that she would release 2 albums.
Well, that's part of my prediction for next year, but we're getting ahead of
Ooh.
ourselves. I think that Folklore will win Best Album over
Okay.
Evermore.
Yeah. Okay.
And then in terms of Oscar Best Film, I looked at the nominations and I was like, I don't know any of these except for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, so I'm rooting for that one.
Yeah. I didn't know any of them. And then Emily mentioned that one happened to be Chadwick Boseman's last film. So that made me sad.
Yeah, and so, well, I guess it's not a public vote, so maybe that won't happen. If it was a public vote, though, I think that it would win.
Yeah, it could be. And honestly, he's just a good actor, so
Yeah.
It's highly possible it might win. I mean, I don't know it, but we should see it, though. I'd like to see it.
We have a whole list of videos that we need to watch.
We do.
Movies. I don't know why I called them videos.
There is one other, since we're kind of on like the entertainment topic, there is one other TV show that I kind of want to talk about.
What's that? What is it? She's looking at me like I'm going to hate it or something.
It is the Critical Role animated series, The Legends of Vox Machina.
What is that coming out on?
It's going to be on Amazon Prime. I'm so excited because I have Amazon Prime, and so I'm going to be able to watch it. And it's hard to say when it's going to come out. I couldn't find an exact date online because it sounded like they had originally wanted it to come out in 2020, but again, pandemic, like pushed things back. So I predict that it will come out in 2021. I don't know when exactly. I'm hoping like by summer. But we'll see. But I'm very, very excited. So and they've promised 2 seasons. So there's going to be at least 2 seasons. Do you remember when we talked about the best of 2019 and I talked about how like there was this awesome Kickstarter campaign that raised money for Critical Role?
I remember.
And I'm so excited. It's going to be amazing.
I don't know about that.
Doesn't like it, but it's fine. Okay, I think we just have to talk about, if we're going to be predicting stuff for 2021, we have to talk about how is COVID going to be impacting 2021.
So one of my predictions is that everyone will have access to the vaccine.
I don't think that's going to happen in a year. I think it's going to take like a year and a half. And I think that everyone will get access by 2022, personally. That would be my prediction. Also, Emily, do you think we're going to get the vaccine? Because in terms of priority list, we are pretty low on the priority list.
Technically, I could be higher because I have asthma.
Okay. Well, then I am definitely at the bottom of the list because, like, we work in a non-essential business. I'm like a single girl, like, you know, living on my own. I don't have any serious health issues. Like, there's just no reason to put me up there. You know, I'm like as basic and common as you can get.
Well, I'm all those things, but I have asthma.
You are not single. You're married. I don't know if that would change our level, but, you know, they probably like, oh, well, you're going to be preserving the human race theoretically, maybe. I mean, I guess you don't have to be married to be preserving the human race. I don't know. I don't know if they're putting any priority on families versus single people, but I feel like if they were, they would put families higher. So it's just moving me down the list.
I guess you have to get married then if you want the vaccine. If you really, really want it.
I can wait. I can go in 2022.
Or you could just tell people you have asthma. Okay, so you think everyone will have it a year and a half from now?
Yeah, I think it's going to take a little longer than a year.
Why?
I think because when you really think about it, it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. And yes, there's certain companies that are a little bit ahead of the game, but like it's going to take more than 1 or 2 companies to get everybody vaccinated. Like you're going to need multiple companies with multiple vaccines, and all of those need to go through testing and trials and clinical trials. Like I think there's just a lot of process that still needs to happen, and it's going to take longer than we think. I mean, we're a large population in just the US, and then I know we're not really necessarily talking about the world, but like there is a lot of process to go through. So I think it's going to take longer than a year. That's just my prediction.
Maybe, but I think we can do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Everyone, get your hands together. Don't actually. This is a pandemic.
Just 6 feet apart, people. That is one thing, actually. I do think that being 6 feet apart is going to stay in certain things. Like, I think at like grocery stores and certain convenience stores and things like that, I do think that the 6 feet apart rule might become a common thing, and it won't go away after the pandemic. Because honestly, I was like thinking about it. Like normally by this time of year, I've had at least like the common cold. You know, like I would have definitely had some kind of like common cold, but it hasn't happened. And it like even my family, like nobody in my family has had a cold yet. And like normally, definitely by this time it would have happened. So I think a large part of that is because of the social distancing and the masks. Like we're just not spreading even a common cold to each other.
Wow.
You know?
Mind blown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually get really sick. Like
at some point during the year. Yeah, so I think it might become more standard.
Maybe I'll just wear a mask forever.
That's the other thing I was going to say is I don't think it's going to, obviously, I think there will reach a certain point where like we're kind of back to normal in terms of masks and nobody wearing them. But I do think it's going to be a slower transition, and there will be certain people who genuinely really like wearing masks and have found a lot of benefit from it, and so they're going to wear them more frequently.
I mean, honestly, I kind of like wearing the mask when it's cold out. It keeps me warm.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll wear it in the winter. Anyways, okay. So, okay, we'll see about the COVID vaccination. Anything else about COVID?
I think those are kind of the big ones.
Yeah. On to bigger and better things, though. I really think that Taylor Swift is going to release a third sister album to Folklore. She denies it, but I feel like she's got something up her sleeve still.
I predict that she won't. She said she was tired. I believe the girl.
I know. I watched the interview that she did with Jimmy Kimmel where she was like, that was just a mistake. We didn't actually mean to tell everyone that there was a third album called Woodvale. It was just a mistake. We forgot to take it off the photo. I'm tired. I think she is putting up a front. And then I watched another interview. It was an hour long, and it came up on my YouTube thing, like recommend to watch. And I was like, well, guess I'm spending the next only half hour, because I watch it 2 times speed, watching this.
That does save you a little bit from the embarrassment of watching an hour-long interview with Tay-Tay, but it's fine.
It was so good, but like, I don't know. Good things come in threes, don't they? And her favorite number is 1, 3. So like, she does like that number 3.
Okay,
you know?
all right.
I don't know. I hope. I mean, this is just a selfish prediction. I just want her to.
Yeah. I think that's totally fine to have selfish predictions. Like, I still want them to announce the Elder Scrolls setting. I don't think it's going to happen, but I can still predict it because it's what I want. Same with Patrick Rothfuss. Why hasn't he announced the third Green Killer Chronicles book yet? Every year I'm going to wish for these things until they happen. This is another big one that I haven't talked about, but I'm going to predict for 2021. I really want Saga, which is an Image comic, to release their next issue. It's been years and I've been waiting because they ended on a massive cliffhanger. Okay, I read that last page and was like, Howdane, what? When is this next issue coming out? Because this is insane. And it hasn't come out for years. And I literally, the other day, I was shopping for some Christmas presents, and I usually like to go to a local comic book store in the area to look for my siblings because they're into comics. And I was like, oh, while I'm there, I can see if the next issue of Saga came out. Because normally I try to forget about it because otherwise I get depressed because it takes so long for them to get issues out. So I kind of had forgotten about it. I was like, oh, I bet it's been a couple years. They probably have the next issue. And I looked and they didn't.
Sad day.
I was so sad. So I predict that the next issue will come out in 2021. I really hope it does because I miss it and I really want to know what happens. So I just want to say that. Also, another fun prediction. I predict that Emily and I are going to play a D&D campaign.
Oh, it could be in the works.
It could be in the works. We don't
know. Shout out to Dutch Marigold.
I know. And then, Emily, do you have any other predictions?
Well, I would like to say my only other prediction that I had for 2020 was that Marissa, my friend, would catch my wedding bouquet. Yet I didn't throw my wedding bouquet because my wedding got split into 2, so I still have it. Still got to throw it this year, so we'll see. Marissa will be there with her long arms. So we'll see this year.
All right.
Yep.
I do have one more that I wanted to say for the end.
Okay.
I did talk about the Mars rover missions in the last episode. And I predicted that we were going to have, like, Love vs. Hate was going to have an episode where we talk about it. And we didn't, but we really need to for 2021.
We posted something on it, didn't we?
Yeah, we talked about the SpaceX launch, which was a totally separate thing. Oh. So SpaceX launched, which is really exciting because SpaceX is one of the first companies that's trying to get, like, commercial launching. So basically, like, they want to, like, send commoners, like commercial people into space.
Like you?
Like me, potentially, but that's never going to happen. But, like, yeah,
why?
And their main goal, because they want to get people to Mars. They want to move people, like, they want humans on Mars.
Why wouldn't you be able to?
We kind of talked about it in the 2019
you don't
predictions.
have asthma.
I like being able to breathe. You know, the fear of not being able to breathe is very strong for me. Like, I have a fear of, like, dying from suffocation because, like, I just can't. I don't like the idea of not being able to breathe. That really stresses me, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's a big fear of, like, not so like being out in space where I could easily die of suffocation is not very a pleasant thought for me.
Okay.
Even though I love space so much, I don't know. Maybe I could get over my fear. I could face the fear, and maybe I could go out there. Who knows? Maybe that'll happen. I'm not predicting that for 2021, but but the Mars missions are separate. So that's through NASA, where they're sending rovers to Mars. And honestly, a lot of the stuff that the Mars rovers are going to find, and like a lot of the stuff that like is part of their mission, is going to help SpaceX to like eventually get people onto Mars. Like the Mars rovers mission's end goal is to get people to Mars, like astronauts. Astronauts will have to be first, but like, you know, they want to get people onto Mars. So the Mars rover did launch in 2020, but it won't land on Mars until February of 2021. So that's when I think we can do our episode. So that's my prediction. We're going to do an episode about the Mars rover missions around February when it lands, and we can talk about it, and we'll do an episode about it.
So wait, the SpaceX launch thing,
Yes.
is that up already, or is that the one you're talking about?
No, they're two different things. So SpaceX...
Did that land?
That was just like a test flight. So that went... So the SpaceX...
All of that excitement was for a test? Are you kidding me?
No, it was very exciting, especially because it had been decades since they had launched from the Kennedy Space Station, and that's really exciting because that's where it all started.
It's so cute. No,
Yes.
it's not exciting, Anne.
Okay, and the test was to get they took 2 astronauts to the International Space Station in this very specified like new shuttlecraft they had tested it. It was the first human test of this shuttlecraft, basically. Okay, it was exciting.
I feel like I've asked this before, but does anybody work in the International Space Station?
Yes, yes, and
people live there.
Yes, well, they don't. I mean, they live like I think the longest anyone stayed there is like a year and a half or 2 years, something like that.
Wait, but it's in space.
Yes, it orbits Earth. It's in space, and the whole
what do they do all day?
They run tests. They run experiments.
How boring!
No, it's amazing. It's so cool.
Oh my gosh, I would literally be so bored. I'd be like, "Get me out of here! I'm so sick of this other person that I'm with."
It is a tight space.
24/7.
Yeah, but the whole idea is because it's the International Space Station. Like people from around the whole globe and countries. Like it's not just the U.S.
How
space
big
station.
is it? Is it like Xenon? Z3?
I don't know what you're referencing. Isn't that Disney movie that's like space but Disney? And I don't know.
Like, do they have their own bedrooms?
Yeah, well, they have like their own like cots, basically, like their own little.
They
it's
don't
not
even
a
have a bedroom, and they have to live there for over a year.
Well, not all of them. Some just come for like a couple months. Like the longest person who's been there, I think. I mean, I'd have to look it up to be sure, but I think it was like around a year or 2 years.
I need to see photos of inside.
You can
this
actually
place.
look videos. There's videos of it. We should. That would be fun.
You've seen where they sleep, and it's a cot.
It's like a containment little. It's like a little like you get in this little thing and you can like strap yourself in because you float. So like you like close the thing. It's like this little thing.
I'm disgusted at this.
I think it would actually be super cool to go to the space station. I don't know if I could do it again. I'd have to conquer my fears, but dang, that would be awesome.
It's just kind of like crazy to think about how there's people living in space right now.
Yes, at all times.
And they just sleep.
Mm-hmm. Well, they also have like they have to work out and stuff because otherwise their muscles would like, what's the term? There's a specific term.
Deteriorate?
Yeah, like basically they'd come back to Earth and like they wouldn't be able to walk because they would lose their muscle mass and stuff. So they do like weights and they have workouts and stuff like that. Like they stay in shape. But yeah, when they sleep, they have to like tie themselves in.
I'll tell you what I would do if I was up there. I would bring like 7,000 books with me because I would be so bored. I'd be
they're doing fun tests and experiments.
I love how you said the word fun. Just make it sound a little better. But it didn't.
Dang it. Anyway. So that was my prediction. We're going to be talking about it more. We'll go into more depth, people, in a later episode is my
prediction is that even if we do talk about space more, I still won't like it.
Just like my prediction is that I will always still never like The Bachelor or Bachelorette. I will never like those shows ever. I'm sorry, Emily. It just won't ever happen. I'm invested in your interest in it, but I don't actually care about the show ever at all. It's the stupidest thing in the world to me.
Wow.
It's true. It's my opinion. It's how I feel.
Okay, well, I'm going to leave you with a quote.
Okay. What do we have any? We didn't do life lessons. What did we do? We did
We did observations, I think, last time.
Do you have any observations for our predictions other than what you've stated?
My observation is that Taylor Swift is amazing. The end.
My observation is that NASA and the Mars rovers are making leaps and bounds, and I cannot wait for it to land in February and learn what the rover has to see on Mars. I don't know if that's an observation or not, but that's what I said. Emily, what's your quote? I want to know your quote.
I actually didn't have one.
Oh.
But I can make one up. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Life is a willow, and it bent right to your wind.
Thanks, Tay-Tay. Powerful stuff.